Welcome to Soulblazing. I'm Lisa Haisha. Today's guest is the #1 lesbian fiction author, and she is a true trailblazer. Let's give it up for Nancy Healy. Hi.
Hello.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to talk about what it is like to be lesbian in a Trump presidency.
A bit dystopian, a bit Orwellian. It's very strange and very different, I think, being out here on this coast or where I live on the East Coast than for a lot of people in the middle of the country, obviously, and a bit anxious. I think you would find most people feel very anxious right now about being LGBT in any way. Are our rights going to be stripped? Is my marriage going to go away? What happens to their adoptions?
Well, what has happened to you? Have you been the victim of hate since the presidency?
I haven't. I can't say that. I have not. And again, I think that has a lot to do with where I live, and I've been out for so long, and I kind of, things roll off me. So I might not know, to be honest with you, if someone was calling me some of the horrible names that people like to. I would probably roll off me more than it would other people because I'm very secure in who I am. But I would tell you that for the first time since coming out, I was in Ohio earlier this year with some friends, and for the first time I was with my wife, I didn't want to hold her hand where we were.
And how long have you been married?
Well, we've been together 13 years.
13 years.
We've been married 5. But I did not feel safe in that environment. It felt, you could feel the energy, and you could see there were Nazi flags at some of the actual vendors at this place we were at, and a lot of Trump flags, and I just didn't feel comfortable being myself. And for me, that was a first, because I'm usually just there, and that's how things have shifted.
So what's your advice to people who have not come out, or younger people? Do you think it's wise to stay in the closet now or to come out?
I think it's a very personal choice. I think you have to go with where you're at. I hear from readers all the time who are in that situation. Some are younger. I think what would surprise people is how many are older. A lot of the people who are struggling with who they are right now are not so much my son's age, who's 27 or younger. They're my age, in their 40s or their 50s, and still in marriages, in things of that nature, and feel very threatened to come out. It's very frightening for them because they see it on both sides, and don't have quite the acceptance that we'll say the millennials do.
Yes.
I think it depends on where you are, and I think it depends on your own family and what your values are.
So when people say, scare the gay out of them or just beat the gay out of them, whatever it is they say, how do you feel about that? Because when did you know you were a lesbian or gay?
My mother would say she knew I was gay when I was 5. Right, because I had a crush on a Ned Funicello on the Mickey Mouse Club. So everyone did.
I wanted to be her. Yes.
I mean, we all did. I remember reading "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret," and thinking she must have mastered that long before me. But when did I know? I don't. That's a hard thing to answer. I think I knew that I was emotionally more drawn to women very early. And I would say that all my friends that I went to high school with and junior high school with all say to me, I knew when you were 15. Well, did you maybe want to buy me a clue, and help me through all those years that I didn't know? So hindsight is 2020. But what I would say to people, you can't scare the gay out of someone. I always wonder what would happen instead of saying sexuality, we said emotionality. Because the minute we say sexuality, we're making it about a physical act, and we're not making it about an intimate relationship or a connection to someone. And falling in love with somebody is not the same as going off and having a one-night stand. People don't wake up one day and say, gee, I think I'll be gay and I'll be marginalized, and that's not how it works. It just is who you are. And the choice is whether to deny who you are because it feels safer, or whether to be who you are and take that risk. And I think that's where people go awry.